Hi guys, I'll wait for some of you to get here. I didn't announce this because I thought it would just be best if I got on when I could instead of you all waiting. Don't pay attention to the pinned thing. I don't know if I can unpin it. Can I do that? Unpin. Thank you. So let's talk Gannon, you guys. I swear I unpinned it. Yes. Hold on, guys. Let me get rid of these. There we go. So we're on the fly here. I'm in the middle of cleaning, or at least I'd like to believe that. No, I really am. And it's raining. And the baby will be home at about 1:30, so I have until then. Hi. I have actually come slightly prepared, you guys. I wrote your questions down along with some notes. I'm going to take 1 second right now. Give me 1 second to breathe because I feel the anxiety. I know it comes from you guys too, but it also comes from me. I mean, I own that. Because every time I talk about Gannon, it gives me anxiety. I never feel like I'm doing enough. I feel like if I can't get my ability to the point where I can pull him back through, then I don't know. It's a weird thing. Does that make sense to you guys? I don't know. This isn't the first time it's happened either. It happened after my brother's trial too. It's like this weird depressive state where you're like, okay, now what? Like, he's not coming back now? Like, surprise, like, are you coming back through? Yeah. And I know that feeling, so I'm like, you know how you're like, oh boy, we've been here before. Like, you know you're going to feel great because I know what's going to happen and she's going to be found guilty and she's going to go into big people jail. But I also understand that feeling afterwards, like, now what? He's not coming back? Like, nah. It's not right. And I've had that before with readings too. Like once I got over this, you get like this high of helping people. So once I saw how accurate these things were and how much help it was like a high for a while. And then eventually, because of who I am and my competitive nature, I'm like, okay, what's next? I can't bring them back. Like, I can't ever strike that. It's highly, highly, highly unlikely that I'm ever going to be able to do that because nothing is impossible. But we have to talk probabilities. We're on Earth. Like, it's what 3D is about. Yeah. And it's an emptiness. And I also understand that the family is going to feel like that too. Because I can't help but think about that because every time I cry, especially early in the morning, it hits me. But when I start to cry about it, I think to myself, how slight that must be. How little it is in comparison to what his mother must feel. You know? And then I start thinking about my mother. Like, anyway. But this is life. And I was also thinking about this morning that I don't like to be cliche and things, but how will we know how much our love really, how would we value our love? And I don't want to say, maybe value is not the right word, but I'm going to use it right now because everybody understands that. How would we value it? If we didn't realize the depth of it when something like this happens. Seriously. 33 viewers. Thanks, Noreen. That's the only reason I looked up. And it went to 34. That's my sign. It's usually like if it changes right before or right after, it's almost like, bitch, that was for you. Don't tell anybody. Even though you guys are here, so I'm telling you. But sometimes it'll happen like in the car. I'm like, wait, let me try that. And then it'll change right away. But it's been happening for a while. It just changed to 32. They got me on both 32 and 34. Anyway. No. Psychic reader. Can you spell it correctly? You kind of are, because physics is a huge part of what I do, but not today. Bye. Block physic so wild. Even on these posts, I'm trying, and I've gotten it's at 33. It just went to 34. Anyway, let's get to Gannon here, okay? So I wrote these questions down, but let me calm myself down for a second. So I can remember, because I didn't obviously write out the whole question, because you know me. Seat of pants. Flying. Okay. Did Letitia have anything to do with Harley's dad's death? No. Carrying a body. Okay, so that was just her doing the most about Lena carrying the body and involved. She was just doing the most to be like, oh, I'm so all over the place. Blah, blah, blah. Who am I? Maria. Teresa. Renee. Oh, God. Sorry, you guys. I really need that for myself. You get what I'm saying? That's it. No, Lena did not help. She wasn't trying to let anybody have information about what she did. That's what you guys forget with a psychopath. A psychopath's first inclination is self-preservation. First of all, those kids are young. It's easy to induce a child to tell you something, especially if it's the truth. Oh, Lord. Sorry about the bun, hon. You get what I'm saying? So no, none of that. That was just her being like, oh, I was, like, whatever, man. Like, yeah, she's a sociopath, but she's a psychopath. Well, sociopath is that overhead. It's antisocial personality disorder. You guys do yourself a favor and look up the traits of antisocial personality disorder. And you are going to be like, yo, you can literally read her like a book. And once you understand the framework of it, I don't listen to the I'm not even going to say it. I almost did. I almost said yada, yada, yada. See, this is why I don't like to connect it. I'm going to have to take another shower after this. But you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't listen to all that stuff. And my head just goes like, whatever. I skipped most of that. Like all those videos, unless it was people were pointing out specific instances in the videos, I would go to that. But why do I want to? I already know what she's doing. She's kicking up dust to cause confusion. That's it. So let's see. The Vicodin. I don't think she was trying to overdose him on Vicodin. The woman's not stupid. I think she was trying to keep him quiet until she could kill him. That's what I think. Because he was in pain. So if she was going to go into Petco or into wherever or out here or there, she didn't need him in the back seat being like on the window. Sorry. You get what I'm saying? She was trying to not draw attention to the situation while she planned it out. That's what I think, and that's what I feel, but I could be wrong, because I'm not always right, but I am willing to get it right. Because there's been issues with some people in some of these groups where, I don't know. Anyway. Sofa and candle. I don't know why I wrote that. So if anybody has a question about sofa and candle, let me know, but does Gannon visit Latifah? Gannon is so forgiving. Like, you can hear my voice change when I talk about it. Because that's how he is. But me? Nope. That's all you need to know. Next question. Does she have nightmares? Yeah, but there's no emotional connection to the nightmares. She's more put off by the fact that she's jolted awake and it stirs about things about her own self, but it's not a nightmare like people that commit crimes of rage or crimes of how do they say passion. Not like that where they have nightmares like, oh my God, what have I done? No, none of that. Zero. Do you know that? And I didn't listen to all those videos. I didn't listen to the entire phone calls, but I did listen to. They're telling me 30%, but that's how much I can. But I heard her say one time, and I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before, somewhere in testimony, she said, and it was a text message. It was through the timeline because they're telling me in my head. It was through the timeline. She said, sorry, I have sympathy for you or something, and then jumped right back to herself. And that was the only time. I'm trying to straighten my hair later, and I don't care. Anyway. 1111, that's Gannon. Let's see. Yeah. So the backside of this is just what I told you in the front side of this video is about antisocial personality disorder. And if you guys research it, there was there's some things like there's key points in that. Hold on one second. There are examples of things like triangulation. If you go back, or at least this is what and I'm no expert in psychology. I was a psych major for many years, and then I changed and got a degree in business and then a degree in finance. And I've had to research this because I was with an actual factual psychopath, and I'm concerned about what genetically I may be dealing with and how to go around those things. And by the way, I've been completely successful on that note so far. So that's another thing. I'd like to toot my horn and stroke my ego real quick because my baby is doing great. Anyway, the escape attempt, the triangulation she tried with the two officers. I think they were both officers. It was with two people. And she's like, I'll talk to you, but I want to talk to her. That's perfect example of triangulation. You see what I'm saying? Because there's so much other examples of her stuff, of projection, of gaslighting, of other things I won't mention because I don't want it to be cross-referenced with what we're trying to disprove, let's say. But that doesn't mean it's a disorder, if that makes sense. So, but those are all key components. And bringing that up, I'd like to slide slightly to the left on the note of Dr. Lewis. From my impression and what I can gather intuitively, Dr. Lewis is trying to redefine dissociative identity disorder. She's trying to pull from several other disorders and kind of wrap it around as a theory of psychopathology and why it happens. And while I fully support her intent, because her intent is to mitigate pathology violence, psychopath violence, however you get my point, in the future. She has this need to be seen, and the need to be seen overshadows her work, and that's where she keeps going wrong. You see what I'm saying? I don't think the jury is going to be swayed in any type of direction at this point because of that time. Wait a minute, strike that. I don't think that the jury is going to be swayed in any type of direction as far as insanity goes when it comes to Letitia. It's cold, it's calculated, and it's predetermined. She planned it. So it takes a lot because of what I do and what I deal with with certain cases, and I deal with a lot of people with grief, for me to be like, my mouth hung open so many times yesterday when they were going over that Google search. Find an immigrant that wants to go to jail. These are, by the way, this is not direct quotes, so give me some breathing room on that. Can I do no jail time with a plea deal? Okay. So you catch my drift on that note. It doesn't even need to be hammered away at. It's so obvious. She left it for. And then my brain I was going to go somewhere else with that. The attorneys. Oh, the face transplant. I'm 33 again. It's constant 33. It's so, I love my life. Cartel numbers. Let me slow down my brain. Hold on. So let me go in order. Well, it's not never really in order when it comes to intuitive nature, but I'm going to come back around with the attorney. The attorney, I'm pretty sure that was his last bid attempt was trying to distract, doing what they were doing yesterday from that timeline, because those searches were so shocking that do you get what I'm saying? It's part of the way that, energetically speaking, it's like what I do when I go, well, no, strike that. I don't want to be associated with that shit. So hold on. Let me think of a better one. Oh, do you know where I got this? I got this at TJ Maxx for $19.99, and it's abalone shell. TJ Maxx is the best for little things. I got this ring, that ring. I get a lot of stuff there. I go to that counter. As soon as I walk in, right to the right. I'm like, yeah, I get so excited. And it's really good prices. And I find good stuff that other people don't have. So I love it. But anyway, let's get back to this. So it was purposeful. It's a distracting tactic. It's dirty, like you salesmen, but men will be like that if they have to be because of their competitive nature. So that's what it is. You didn't notice it today, did you? Okay. Guilty, 2 to 3 hours, if that. I think it'll be Friday because I keep seeing 5-5 and 1-4-3. Like, you know, I love you, and then the 5-5, and 5-5 keeps coming up, 5-5, 5-5, and I'm not sure why. So, well, but it would go in line, 11, 33, 55. You get what I mean? And sometimes they do that, and sometimes they don't. So, I mean, but every other thing, but you know. And she's going to big people jail. Just saying. It's not county jail, Letitia. You asked. You want to be, you know. So that's what I have to say about that. But let me see. Yeah, all of it bothered me. All of it was so, you know, it makes me feel funny because I've said this before. When I tune into the case, like, I try not to see that stuff. My whole mission is to get the person to their family. And so if they're already dead, to me, it's like, well, why are we here? Why are we focused on that right now? First of all, there's some grieving. They don't even know. Do you get what I'm saying? So, and plus I don't really like to see that. So I'll skirt around it. So a lot of this stuff is so shocking. And plus I love Gannon so much that there's a wall there. Like, there's just a veil of, I don't need to see that, if that makes sense. And I think his mother thinks that, like, his mother's like that too. So I get that. And that's that real mom vibe. Like, that's okay. I don't need that. But you're home with your family though, right? What? No, I can't think. Let me not Kirsten, but I'm going to put that in the filing cabinet. No, I don't want to think about that right now. Jesus Christ, dude. Like, but this is the thing that I've seen. Like, I didn't want to believe that there were people with no souls out there. But there is. And that was my wishful thinking. And I've gone through some shit myself because of that. But I'm taking full responsibility for my ignorance, in a sense. You know? By thinking it couldn't possibly be that like that out there because, you know, they have to be like me, I guess. I don't know. You know? It's not the way, that's not reality. Reality is this shit happens. And it's awful. Anyway, testify. Thank you, Jamie. This is my feeling about what she's going to do. And let's see if I'm right. Oh, hold on. I'm going to tell you my feelings, and I'm going to tell you what I just heard. Okay. No, they want me to tell you what I just heard first. Okay. She'll testify because she wants to be heard. But you guys there might be a conglomerate of you guys too that feel that. I logically want to tell you my logical side. I don't know why, but says that she's waiting to see if she can get in edgewise. If Dr. Lewis gets up on the stand, all right, because, oh, well, let me tell you something. Okay, let me back up a bit. Empis and, what time is that, you guys? Let me make sure that I'm looking for the bus. Hold on. Because I get lost in it sometimes. It's happened a few days in a row with this case. And I missed the bus one day. So, just because somebody is an empath, let's say, okay, does not mean that they aren't a psychopath as well. I'm probably not saying that right now because I got a little distracted getting nervous about the bus. But she can certainly, psychopaths come from a place of trauma where they've developed a system, a sensory system, kind of like an empath, but they don't have feelings for people. So she can sit in that courtroom and feel around to feel the reaction from that jury and other people about the testimony of Dr. Lewis. But the good thing about it is we're watching her, and I'm watching her, and I can see her feedback as things happen and things are said. So she's waiting to see this feedback from Dr. Lewis to see if she's got a little nudgy poo. One juror is all it takes, right? But I don't think one would be enough for a nudgy poo. But two would be enough for a nudgy poo for her. Because she's stupid. Because psychopaths are, it's not that they're stupid, they take the easy way out and they can't see past that. Very narrow-minded, their viewpoint. So, that's my logical thinking. I don't think Dr. Lewis is getting in like that. I think that the prosecution might just open this one up. I'm kind of confident in it, actually. I don't think she has that much of I don't think she has that much because of what's already been presented. However, the human mind, the human mind that has a heart, wants to believe, just like I told you a few minutes ago, the good in people. I am been that person many times too. So my theory and my thought is that that's how the jury would go about it as well. So if she could get one, you get what I'm saying? Like one little, maybe she could make a big, I'm saying, and that's when what Letitia's thought process or my feeling towards how she thinks about it would go. And then she'd get on the stand to try to make it that hole in the thing bigger, if that makes sense. Hopefully I'm making sense to you guys. I don't know what time it is because, of course, this isn't showing time. Can anybody post what time it is right now, Eastern, please? I'm on the 3rd floor, and the bus pulls up, but I just want to make sure that I'm not over here in this like this. But anyway, let's see. I think I covered everything. Let me go on. So that's my logical find. And at 124, okay. So I got about 6 minutes. It's rainy, so sometimes it takes a little longer like that. So, you get my point. Okay. Thank you guys. All right. Any other questions? I think we covered it. Just still sad. It's just sad. Oh, and the other thing I'd like to say is, because I know that people feel some type of way about Al sometimes. I've been thinking about this today. I watched both my parents grieve. My dad was in the military, okay? My mother said that that's the only time she's ever seen him cry. I think it was either that time or maybe it's been one other time. But my mother wasn't around when his mother died, so that doesn't make sense. I think that's what she told me, that it was the only time she's seen him cry is when my brother died. But weird things like my mother, the last sweatshirt that my mother saw him in, my mother had it, and she had it in this bureau down cellar, and my dad was going to mow the lawn. So he put the sweatshirt on, and she caught him mowing the lawn, and he wasn't even dead like a month. And my mother flipped out and broke down. My father was like, oh, what? So you swear it. But that was the way he was. You see what I'm saying? It's not because the absence of love. He didn't see the problem with it because that's not the way his brain thinks. Okay? That's it. And he has a new baby boy. You guys, everyone that's ever experienced trauma in some type of way knows how new babies bring in new light. And imagine when it's your own and it's a son. Like, you get what I mean? It gives you a reason. So I don't feel the same way as everyone does, but I respect their feelings on it, but I don't see it the same way. And because I keep going back to it, remembering how differently my parents grieved, and they're diametric opposites, literally on the calendar, like literally June, December, like. So I start thinking about those things, and he wasn't doing it because he didn't care. He didn't get it. He's like, so? You see, they're like, he's very matter of fact. Men are like that. They're like, okay. Like, women are the ones who are making up, all the time. That's okay, too. I like that, too. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying there's a difference in communication style, but I get it. And women are very protective of other women because women know what they go through to create new life so that we can keep doing this shit show. And right now, we're the women this lifetime. So, hey. Yeah, they kind of do. I don't want to say they think differently. Maybe I don't think they think differently. I think their thought processes are different. So men are very doom, 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 doom. Women are like bang, 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 like constellations in the sky. You know what I'm saying? Constellations aren't very close to the stars aren't really close to each other. I'm not saying there's probably not instances of it happening, but there's a lot where they're like 50,000 astronomical units, like, or some crazy amount, whatever it is. I'm not thinking along those lines, but you get my point. But they're both useful. They're both useful. They both have their place. Just know which one. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. And with that being said, man, I love Gannon. I love Gannon. And I'm so happy that Melvin was available. And I don't mean that as, because he was, he was dead first and then so this happened. No. He was dead and this happened. And I'm happy that we worked together so that things can happen. Does that make sense? Lena, yeah. Lena's going to be all right. Lena's going to be all right. Her mother is very intuitive. I'm trying to tell you, she's an empath like that. Yeah, they can be more than one place at one time. I will always feel that one of my greatest achievements in a way is the fact that Gannon's body was found on March 17th and that Melvin Street was right up the street. Like, that's still, every time I think about it, and it just blows my mind. It really does. And it shows me how much of a heart my brother has, like, for certain things. I don't know. I get really emotional when it comes to this one. So, it's just too many coincidences. It's too much. They're both born on the 29th. Gannon's September 29th. Melvin's October 29th. Gannon went missing on my cousin Robbie, who died. Birthday, 1/27. They were both found on St. Patrick's Day. And my last Gannon video was that day, and I told you it was going to be found that day. I said something like, let's see. I don't know. I haven't gone back and looked at it, but I know I said it. Anyway. So together, we all care, and we all, yeah, isn't that crazy? And then I said it's Florida, too. I think it's the funniest thing, because I tell people this. I'm like, yeah, it's like when I did the first video for Gannon, I said, I was, oh my God, I was so wired because of Letitia's energy, and I didn't know. I don't even watch that video. I'm like, oh my God, I don't even want to see what it looked like or hear my voice, because it was just so, I don't know, erratic feeling. But anyway, but that first Gannon video was done on February 4th. That's when she was in Florida. And at 51, if you guys want to go see it, I think it's in my Facebook and it's on YouTube, at 51:15. So 5115, I start talking about Florida out of nowhere. And I do this all the time and it cracks me up. I fully enjoy that. Oh, the bus. Hold on, guys. All right. So at 51:15 is when I talk about Florida. I got to get the baby off the bus, so I've got to end now. But there's other instances, and if you just go to the YouTube channel and read the comments, people have already picked it out. I haven't really done it. Yeah, but I called Florida. I'm like, Florida, swamp boat tours. And everybody's like, no, Colorado, snow, cold. And you see me like, I remember when I went to Florida. You got to see it. It's pretty funny because I didn't remember I did it either. Somebody told me after, and I'm like, I did? They're the one who directed me. I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, I did. Anyway, I got to go, guys. All right? Have a great day.